so, without further ado, he's coming back again. He show up every week just for me to I guess, you know, he likes the education in sports. So he comes and I help educate him a little bit. None other than Mr. Malik. You know I call you Mr. Malik? That it was a rapper back in the day. He only had like one hit, but his name was Mr. Malik.
Oh, one hit wonder.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on you to get your one hit though. So here we go. You got anything to say before we get into it?
Man, you know, all I want to say is I wish you good luck, and let's get straight into it.
All right, cool. So, okay, yeah. So in order to understand what we are going to discuss, there is a gold medal winning Olympian and track star, and he had this to say:
world champion on they head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
All right. Now, Kyle, his comments created a certain amount of controversy in America because people were like, you can't say that NBA champions aren't world champions. But I'm like, yes, he absolutely can say that for the very reasons that he gave. I am in 100% agreement with him that you can't have a championship that only happen in America and call yourself the world champions.
Well, if you even when we do think about, you know, basketball, you know, even in the United States, we established ourselves as a global, you know, power back in the 90s, especially with Jordan when it comes to basketball, first and foremost. And is it a fair statement to say that when it comes to competition and just basketball itself, that the United States has the best basketball league compared to other countries?
I think it's hard to say that. And the reason I think it's hard to say that is because what do we really have to compare it to other than the Olympics that happen every 4 years? And this is why this conversation came back up, because while all these NBA enthusiasts were saying, you can't say we're not the world champions, you can't say we're not the world champions. Do you know what just happened a couple of days ago? The Team USA, they lost to Lithuania in the Basketball World Cup. I'm going to say that again. The United States USA team in the Basketball World Cup lost to none other than the powerful and mighty Lithuania.
And I've been waiting for you to bring that up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because that's why we're talking about it. He said that he caught a whole lot of flack, and then the United States went and lost to Lithuania.
Okay, well, to speak on that, even though the United States lost to Lithuania, I'm pretty sure it's quite clear that our best isn't even on the Olympic team to begin with. And then two, when it comes to the United States, we put more value when it comes to winning the finals championship than we do the Olympics. When was the last time you heard somebody talking about Michael Jordan and that brought up how many times he went to the Olympics and won gold compared to the 6 rings, the 6 championships he got?
Yeah, but I really think that's to the point of what I'm saying. Like, if the championship in the United States being more important to us does not mean we have players that can just beat the whole world. That's matter of fact, that's why Jordan had to make a comeback, because we were getting manhandled in the Olympics. And after Jordan and with them, we had to have the redemption team, because once they exited, Team USA started to lose again. And if it wasn't for Kobe, may he rest in peace, we wouldn't have returned to prominence as soon as we did. The day and time where America can just say we're the best just because we're America, those days are over. You got to prove it. America does not lead the way in much. Other than some things that, you know, I don't want to get into some of those other things. So, but what I'm saying is, if you have not proven you are the best on the court against other teams comprised just to beat you, you can't say you the world champ.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So I don't know if you remember this or not, but we had a debate about 5 weeks ago on the greatest point guard between Magic Johnson and Steph Curry.
Oh, I like that. You gonna pull something out 5 weeks ago? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
And so one thing that you said was you brought up Stephen A. Smith and how you pretty much agreed with when he said that Stephen Curry is the best shooter on God's green earth and like
best shooter ever. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And so you absolutely agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
I'm glad you say that. So when you decided, when you decided in your mind that Stephen Curry was the best shooter on God's green earth, did you look into Europe and kind of analyze their best shooters, or did you look into Lithuania and kind of investigate their best shooters, or was your mindset was if he's the best shooter in the United States, then he's just the best shooter ever because this is the top performing league in the world?
Yeah. So I came to the conclusion he is the best based on the information I have. There might be somebody else out there. I don't know. That's the whole point of this conversation, that you cannot conclude that you are the absolute best at something if you have not put that up against the world. So Olympians, they go race against the best in the world. Now I know somebody saying, because here we go, somebody's like, yeah, but hold on. We got the best players here, and their best players come here. Therefore, if their best players come here, that means we're world champs. Nah, invalid argument. If your team, USA, is not going against another country's team specifically comprised for a world championship, you cannot classify yourself as something you have not competed for. You can give yourself that title all you want to, but you didn't compete against the world. Therefore, how can you say you defeated the world? Because a few people, 23% of the NBA is foreign players.
Right.
That ain't the world. That's one player over here on that team, one player over there on that team, one player over there on that team. So how can you say you defeated the world just because you got a few players from around the world? That ain't defeating the world, man. That's defeating some players from around the world.
But like I was saying earlier, when it does come to the United States and competition-wise, like whenever we think about competition and like even looking at other leagues, the best competition does come from the United States.
But that's an American perspective of it. I saw Yoke. Matter of fact, let me run this list down before we even make this point. All right. Yoke. Just won an NBA championship.
Did.
Won the NBA Finals MVP. He's not from America.
Right.
All right. Embiid.
Okay.
Just won MVP.
Right.
Not from here.
Right.
Okay. Let me keep the list going. Giannis. Won MVP before him. Not from here.
Right.
Luka Doncic. One of the best players in the league right now. Not from America. The number one draft pick this year, 2023, Victor Wembanyama. Not from here.
Okay.
So for us to act like all talent is emanating from the United States is invalid, and we know that. So if we are not taking teams from other places with their best, we can't say just because it's some people from around America that makes us the world champs. It doesn't, especially if we see that most of the best players that are in the NBA right now aren't even from the United States.
But that makes our point even more valid because that goes to show that the best players in the world are trying to come here to begin with.
I looked that up too. What is the best paying league?
The best paying league?
Yeah.
It has to be the United States, the NBA.
That's right. So they come here because they can get paid more, but that don't mean there aren't people elsewhere that don't have more skill. Yeah, you just come here, you can get paid more. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's a difference. Look like our time is out, man. It was good though.
It was.
It was good. So you see how I'm right though.
I see your point. But I still have to go on what I said to begin with.
All right. Good discussion, man. Good discussion.